Sunday, May 26, DefenseCon, Day 2. Let's go, folks. Today is the final day to get the Drake Kraken and Kraken Privateer. Here's the waves. Good luck. So the Saber Firebird's still here, of course, and we've also got the Retaliator. But guys, get this. The day has come. The day is finally here. It has arrived. The CUTLASS BLACK has got a Warbond CCU. First ever. Hopefully, many more. And hopefully it's a better discount next time. Because this is only the dropping it down to the previous $100 price tag. But hey, it's still a discount, so we're going to take it, and let's check out our options. All right, so again, the Cutty Black, first time ever in the Warbond CCU game here. So definitely take advantage of it. It's at a decent price point that kind of bridges the sub-$100 ships and gets you into the $100 ships. So the Mako is a decent choice here because, first off, it's only $5, so you're going to maximize your savings. The issue is that the Mako may never actually get a Warbond CCU. None of the Reliant series has ever had a Warbond CCU, right? So it's tough to say. It's a maximizing savings, so yes, you should grab it. And look, if you have to upgrade from like a Gladius to the Mako, it's going to be another $5 out of pocket anyway, but you could use in-store credit to make that leap, fill that gap. And like here, so again, Gladius has had a few Warbonds, and I'm going to cover that next. But if you already had the Gladius Warbond to upgrade from here to the Mako, is only $5, and you can use store credit, so it's not a big deal. You could lock it in here and just pay it outright with the Warbond, but it's new money being injected. Or you can do I have a feeling that the Reliance will eventually get an actual really high quality gold pass, and they will kind of be redeveloped. Their price will increase at that point. I don't know when that will be. You can definitely go for it. There's a chance of IAE having almost any ship available in a Warbond CCU, so it is totally possible. And we've got the Cutty Black as a brand new one, never hit before, and we had, I think, another one as well recently that was first timer. So yeah, maybe the Mako is a good choice. Jumping down to another $5 price point lower, spend 10 to save 10 effectively. That's the lowest ratio that we would want to look for in a Warbond CCU. So we have a Gladius. Gladius has had at least a couple, two for sure, maybe a third one that I can't remember that happened before 2022. But I think it's just a recent one as well. Then we've got the Hull A. Hull A has, again, anytime we've got a new ship that has had Warbond CCUs already, I tend to think it's going to come back. But the Hull A only had one when it was released, right? It's a rare one, but it has absolutely had one in the past, so it's an okay choice. If I was going to pick between the Gladius and the Hull A, I would probably pick the Gladius, but that's just me. You also have the Storm, not the AA version, just the regular Storm, and it's in the same boat. Yeah, it's had quite a few here. So they were always $10 discounts, but then it looks like it increased in price as well. So I guess the best one would have been about this time in 2023, probably when the Storm released, because it was an $80 ship with a $10 discount for the Warbond. But again, right now that you can't get that, so it's in probably the same boat as the Gladius. I would rate those on the same scale. So again, best savings is the Mako, but there's a less likely chance you're going to get that Warbond to the Mako. But again, look, you're only spending $5. That's still the best play, because if you do the Gladius, guess what? It's still $10. And the reality is, if you choose the Mako and you still have to make up another $5 because you can't get a Warbond directly to the Mako, and you get something, you upgrade to the Gladius and then pay an additional $5 non-Warbond to get to the Mako, it's the same $10 as buying this Gladius. But if you get this Mako to Cutty Black, it's only $5 out of pocket, and the reality is, if you have to add on that other $5, then so be it. This is the best savings. So yes, I will still recommend the Mako. It's still a good choice. The Gladius and then the Storm are probably the next choice. and then the whole A, and then let's see what else is down here. So the Herald, you're paying 15 to save 10. I don't like that ratio. I don't. I've even got a Herald Warbond upgrade as well. I don't think I've used it in a chain yet, so I guess I could take this, but I really hate the ratio. Let's see what else we've got. The Warlock. I've got a Warbond to a Warlock, so these two would be in the same boat. The Herald, okay, and the Sen. I don't think the Sen's ever had one. The Reliant Sen has never had a War. I don't know if any of the Reliants have. Let me look that up. The Core, never. The Mako, never. The Reliant, never. Or the Sen, never. And the Tana, never. I thought the Core had one at one point. Maybe if it did, it was prior to 2022. So it's been a while. And it's not well documented on the CCU site either. Let me show you just what I do when I'm looking it up. If I don't remember a specific ship, I'll just go over here to the CCU game app, and you scroll on down to this section here for all ships, right? And then you can just search. There, here's all the Reliants. It'll pop up on the right-hand side, how many Warbonds it's had in the past. If there's nothing past 2022, it doesn't mean that there wasn't one. It just means that it wasn't documented within the site, or maybe it was some special edition thing that wasn't available to everybody. Most of them do, in fact, show up, though. So if it's not here, I tend to just say there hasn't been one, even though, look, there's always been the weird cases where, let's see here, what's a good example? Harbinger, probably. So it's had two, right? Just one recently, this ILW, and then it had one September 2 years ago. But the reality is, back in 2016, there was a Harbinger to Banu Merchantman CCU for $0 that existed. Okay? Like, they're not all here because these aren't technically like CCUs in the traditional sense. So they're not here, but they absolutely existed. So if it's not here, sure, you somebody like me who's been playing for a long time may have it in their stable, but it doesn't mean that it's like obvious that it existed for other people, or a website that just kind of scrapes what's available as it changes on the RSI website. So I tend to use this, even though it's not maybe exactly accurate for that sort of stuff, because it's a really good barometer. And let's face it, nobody cares about a $0 CCU that they never had access to and they can't get right now, right? So anyway, I just want to make that clear. I do use the CCU game app for historical references when I talk about which ships have had Warbond CCUs, because it is a pretty good documentation source. All right. So again, the Reliant Sen hasn't had one. None of the Reliants have. That's kind of why I don't put them in CCU change. But again, look, it's the lowest dollar amount. And here's another thing that you guys got to think about. Right now, there's not a referral reward, right? There's no event going on that gives you a referral reward for a new buddy joining, or if you're a hardcore CCU game player, that second or third or 18th account that you got to hit that $40 mark, right? If you have $10 left on one of those secondary accounts, and you go with the Gladius, you're going to hit that $40 mark. You're only going to get a referral point, which is good. It's good to have those, right? And it's good to support the game, of course. But you're not going to get, you're going to kick that account out of the running for getting a referral reward down the road, right? So what you should do instead, if you only have $10 left on that second, third, or fourth account, right? Grab the Mako. You can spend the $5 later if you need that upgrade. And you can keep it under the threshold of $40, right? So that's another scenario and tactic you can use to kind of maximize the bonuses and savings throughout these other events. Look, we've got Alien Week coming up. They may offer something special there. We've got probably 5 or 6 small events coming up until something like IAE in November. I mean, we've got the entire summer to go over, right? They're going to have different events. Maybe another Overdrive thing kicking off. They're going to have additional free flies. They will most likely have an event in between now and IAE where you can get a referral reward. So keep that in mind too with those second accounts. Don't just spend all your CCU upgrade money, especially in Warbonds, on your main account. It doesn't make any sense. We're trying to maximize savings with the CCU game, guys. If you don't have a second, third, fourth, fifth account, and you've spent like $600, you have missed out on a significant number of basically free ships. Let me show you guys. I'm going to give you some inside baseball here. Going back to standalone ships. So, standalone ship. I did buy this. It's the 10-year. I got it with store credit. This is a referral bonus. Dragonfly and the other stuff that comes with it. Steve, I got a referral bonus. Merlin, referral reward. Argo MPUV, referral. This is eventually going to be given away on this channel, this C1 Spirit. I do fly it. It's not a never before flown ship, so it's going to be, you're going to get it in used condition, just so you know. Hoverquad referral, another Dragonfly Black. Hoverquad, I think I bought this one outright. I'm probably going to turn this into store credit eventually. I don't know why I bought it. I think I just wanted an LTI token because at that time I was really trying hard for the normal way to get referral bonuses. And I kind of peaked out at the Blade, and I just haven't been working to try and get additional referral bonuses. So I started using around this time or after this time, I guess, is when I really started hunkering down and doing things differently. So I should have bought this on a different account. I should have bought this on a different account too, but I wanted to make sure that I could trade it once, and I didn't want to lose some of the old accounts. I tend to lose information about after I transfer everything in. So anyway, again, another referral bonus. This is my merchantman. Like, you can see how many upgrades I've had on this thing. Maybe I'll walk through that again in a new masterclass video for those folks that are just kind of joining. I made a video a long time ago that really walked through in depth CCU trading, but I should probably do an updated one. Anyway, this was the other one. And then my one regurt is going to come up here. You're going to see it, the Ion and 6 items. I didn't get a great discount on this one. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. All right, so I'm going to give you a little more insider info here. If we look at just upgrades, right? So I've got how many pages here? 10 pages, right? And if you look, like here's a perfect example. Mustang Alpha to Aurora LX. That seems like a dumb thing to have purchased, right? If I exchange it, $0. There's no money associated with this, right? It's a free one. These were back in 2016. That's how long I've been playing. IAE of 2016. These were intended for a certain thing, and I'm going to use them as soon as possible because they have said in the past that they will eventually go away. Okay, well, there it is. They do exist. These are the ones that I'm always referring back to. Like, again, we have the DUR, the Delta, other ships that haven't really had a Warbond CCU have had these free CCUs, like Endeavor to Reclaimer, Endeavor to Carrack, etc. What else do we got here? Retaliator Bomber. Does that even exist anymore? Does this ship even exist? To Aquila to Retaliator. Yeah, so like this one. Vanguard Warden to Merchantman upgrade. You guys realize the distance between these two ships now? Because a Merchantman used to be a $250 ship. So these are like killer CCUs to have. They're not tradable. You can't gift them, right? All you can do is apply it. Can't exchange them for any real dollars. They're only valuable if they're in your account. So if I'm talking about, oh yeah, this one had one of those free ones, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, right? Just there you go. Now you know. So jumping back to the Cutty Black Warbonds, again, I think I would still recommend the Mako. It's a $5 minimum injection of dollars to the game. It's the minimum amount of money you need to spend for the Warbond. So yes, it's still recommended to get the Mako. You could also, as a secondary choice, get the Gladius or Storm for $10. Again, you're spending $5 additional. You're leaving money on the table. But these absolutely have Warbonds, right? And I mean, if the price changes or whatnot, it's already locked in, etc. On a third choice would be the Hull A. Again, it's just between these three, the Storm, Hull A, and Gladius, the Hull A has had the fewest amount of Warbond CCUs. So that's why it's third choice. Then anything below that, right? The Herald has had one or two. The Warlock's had one or two. The Reliant Sen has never had any. So again, because you're spending 15 to save 10, and it's never had one before, and it's not scheduled for a gold pass that I'm aware of, I would not recommend it, right? If you want to do something speculative on this, based on a future price increase, you could buy a Reliant Sen. What would you do? Like a 80, like a Cyclone AA to Reliant Sen, $5 right now, non-Warbond, and then you would just hold that CCU until the price increased, and then you would profit that way. But again, anything other than the $90 ones up here, like the 85, 85, 85, 80, etc., I wouldn't recommend any of these. There's no real reason to do that because you're not going to maximize savings. So that's it for DefenseCon and Warbonds and ILW, minus the grand finale. They did mention a grand finale where some would come back or something. I don't know if that's going to start like tomorrow, Memorial Day, and go a couple days after ILW kind of winds down with the end of Drake's DefenseCon or something. I just don't know. Keep keep watching, I suppose, and I'll update with anything that comes up over the next couple days as this event winds down. That's it for me, guys. Zi-Tek out.